Diving right into the studio today. Woo, cold and rainy out. Just got back from run number 1. And yes, here we go. Now listen, I'm not an elite runner, all right? And you are unlikely an quote-unquote elite runner, according to the pundits. I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is that I'm elite in my mind and in my heart and in my desire to be a better human being tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And how do you do that? You challenge yourself. You push yourself. You seek out the sometimes uncomfortable path in life. And that's what we're talking about today. Efficiency versus efficacy, okay? So I know, now maybe you are an elite runner. And when I say elite, I am saying like pro runners who get paid, by the big shoe companies, and like it's literally your job is to be a professional athlete. That's what I'm quantifying as an elite runner. But for me, or qualifying as an elite runner, for me, I'm striving to make myself better, both in running and in life, all right? So I have a challenge inside me that I've wrestled for many, many years. And part of it is because of this right here, this camera right here. For 8 years, I made the daily vlog. 8 years. I published every single day. I think, what about 2,500 videos here on YouTube. How did I do that? Efficiency, okay? And what happened? That bled over into the rest of my life, including training for training for the Jersey City Half Marathon, which I just raced 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I talked about the difference between I love this. It was a long vlog, but it just really solidified in my mind the difference between, actually they're still sitting right here, the difference between Naples, all right, there's the medal from Naples from 2021, and then from 2025, 4 years later, and this is Jersey City, the difference in training. And yes, it was impacted by efficiency versus efficacy, okay? So here's the secret, here's the tip, here's the insight that we've talked about, and actually the comment of the day is being pulled from a vlog from 5 years ago. So 2020, it's amazing. The archive is vast, and it's a great vlog comment of the day. I believe it is from Brian. So Brian, we'll get to that in 1 second, but what do I mean? All right, first of all, a working definition. This isn't a great definition, but it's just a simple, because efficacy, you hear that word and you're like, what does that actually mean? Here's one on your screen right now, okay? The power to produce an effect. I actually don't like that one a lot, but it's just like a general definition. All right, there's actually a lot of definitions that float out there, or examples that float out there about what efficacy actually means. One that I prefer is this one. It is the ability to produce a desired amount of the desired effect, okay? And how does that apply to runners around the world, but in particular for my case? My desired amount in running is high volume. You all know that. I race my best when I'm training at a high volume. It just is what it is. It's how I get the most out of my aerobic system, my legs, everything that goes into my training is high volume. And it's basically because I've been training like that since, let me just think here, 2000 and, it would have been about, 2005 is when I made the switch. Basically from freshman year of college to sophomore year, I made the switch from 40, 50 miles, and this is just for me, 40 to 50 miles a week, and I just said, okay, we're turning it up to 70 to 80 miles per week. And sure enough, good things happen. I walked on at CU, okay? But the second part of this efficacy question is, what's my desired effect when I'm doing high volume? To not be overtired. And that's what happened for Jersey City. Even though, and this is crazy, 130 miles a week, 110 miles per week. 130 for Naples, 110 for Jersey City. Why was I doing 110 for Jersey City? Because I had forgotten the power of the double, and that's the QD. do you dabble in doubles? Meaning running twice a day. Not every day, don't do that, but twice a day, 2 times a week, 3 times a week. And yes, that is the quote unquote, it's not a secret these days, but that is the secret of the elites. That is what all the elites do. That is what I have reintroduced into my training, getting ready for. We are in day 20 of 51-day training block, getting ready for the GoPro Games, my first mountain race of 2025. And I have already doubled. Okay, I'll put it on the screen right now. I think it's 7 or 8 times in 20 days. And for the entire training block of Jersey City, I believe I doubled 3 times. And for Naples, I doubled 23 times. So what I'm getting at is I love efficiency, and I hesitated to train twice a day because in my mind, I'm like, that's not as efficient. Meaning, I got to get dressed twice a day. I've got to get out the door twice a day. I've got to pack and it's not for everybody, all right? I'm not saying you have to do this, but I do know there are dads out there. There are high schoolers out there. There are people that watch these videos that they want to achieve goals. They're not just sitting back watching YouTube, eating bonbons. Is that how the saying? They want to get out there and challenge themselves and really track down a PR, track down a BQ, track down a course record, track down an FKT, whatever it is, track down an age group division winning, the 55 to 60 age division at your upcoming 4th of July 5K in your hometown. Like, there's so many opportunities to push yourselves, and you're like, maybe I need to change things up. Maybe I need to try something new. All I'm saying is sometimes the double, for me, the double has worked in the past. I'm not saying it could work for you, that it will work for you. I'm not saying it fits into your schedule. It's kind of mentally more challenging because you have to get out the door twice a day. Oftentimes it means that morning, getting out the door before 5:30, 6:30, before whatever it is, school, work, whatever it is in your life. So far, like today I'm doing 10 and 10. Instead of doing 1, which is what I did for Jersey City, and I'm kicking myself a little bit because you get the volume, but your legs are not as tired. They're not as tired. You get to come home, you get a nice cup of coffee mixed with some cocoa in there, and you just recover. And then 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours later, you go out again, and it's amazing the difference in feel I'm telling you, and you get a double benefit of spiking your heart rate twice in one day. And you all know it can take, depending on what type of run you're doing, it can take 1 to 2 hours, and even longer sometimes, but 1 to 2 hours usually for that heart rate after you run to kind of come back down all the way back to a normal resting heart rate. So you get that double spike. Does that make sense? So you're just sitting on your couch or you're making dinner in the evening, and you get that double benefit of a double heart rate spike. Just to be clear, to put a bow on this conversation, efficiency versus efficacy. I was trying in the past, especially the last training block, to be too efficient by running once a day, thinking, you're saving a little time by not getting dressed twice a day, and rather than seeking out the efficacy of still training at a high volume, which I love doing and I think is the best for my makeup, my body type, but not over-tiring the legs. So that's where, again, it's that efficiency versus efficacy debate and that I wrestle with as a runner sometimes. So just wanted to put a bow on it. Hopefully that makes sense. Comment of the day, and this is it. Brian, this is awesome. This is from 5 years ago. Training for my 100 miler, I was well acquainted with 4 a.m. I tried to get a 5 to 7 mile run before I had to drop the kids off at school. Then after working, I would put the kids to bed and head out on another 5 to 7 miler. I only did this a few times a week, but it allowed me to keep all my family time intact and still raise my mileage to get ready for the race. It's unbelievable. And so not only is the volume high, your legs don't get quite as tired, you get that double heart rate spike. You get the family time, then you're back before your kids are probably even awake, and there are just so many benefits. But I realize it can be, you have to ease into it. That's another, don't just go out and do 2 or 3 in 1 week. Like start, if you're interested in this, I would recommend doing one week and then waiting 2 weeks before you try another one, just to see how the body responds. And then 2 weeks after that, maybe, so a month in, maybe consider adding a second one in a 7-day span. All right. I'll stop there. This is a great topic. I love it. It's just something that the elites do. It's something I have done in the past more so, and I'm so excited it's back for this GoPro Games training block. Onward we go. We'll toss it to what I just, when we talked about doubles 5 years ago in 2020, and where we got the comment of the day from Brian. Shout out to Brian. Onward we go. We'll toss it to that one right there. All right. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.